I declare the commencement of the ceremony for the conferment of degrees, Session 2.
Go to the platform. Dr. William Fung. Dr. William Fung Kwok Lun is the Group Chairman of Lee & Fung Limited, Chairman of Global Brands Group Holding Limited, and Non-Executive Director of Convenience Retail Asia Limited, all publicly listed companies within the Fung Group, of which he is the Deputy Chairman. Dr. Fung is regarded as one of a few truly global businessmen. He and his elder brother, Victor, successfully transformed a small startup trading company founded by their grandfather in 1906 in Canton, today's Guangzhou, to become the world's leading supply chain solutions partner for retailers and brands worldwide. Today, Lee & Fung operates an extensive global supply chain network with over 21,000 people in about 250 offices and distribution centers around the world, working with a vendor base of more than 15,000 suppliers. The global retail industry has been undergoing profound changes, driven by disruptive technologies and shifting consumer preferences, and Dr. Fung has been instrumental in leading Lee & Fung through these changes. His key to success is the ability to adjust quickly supply chain solutions for its global brand and retail customers as new situations emerge. He is now focused on creating the supply chain of the future, a digitalized supply chain that delivers with speed, fosters innovation, and generates valuable business insights. Lee & Fung opened its first office in Malaysia following its acquisition of the Dato International buying offices globally in 1995. With Malaysia as one of the world's largest natural rubber producer, Lee & Fung sourced many rubber products such as bath mats, swimwear, rubber wood furniture from Malaysia, and Lee & Fung's manufacturing operations focused mainly on F&B products that was sold to Dah Chong Hong in 2016. LF Logistics has been operating in Malaysia since 2003 as a third-party logistics service provider, providing warehousing and distribution in 8 distribution centers and freight forwarding services. It is very much involved in supporting the local community through its corporate social responsibility programs, such as Plant a Tree, in line with Malaysia's initiative Go Green project, and in helping Malaysian students and people with disabilities, OKU, that is Orang Kurang Upaya, gain meaningful employment and lead a meaningful life. For his outstanding entrepreneurship, William and Victor Fung were jointly voted as a pair amongst the world's top 25 managers of the year in 1995 and 50 stars of Asia in 2000 by Business Week, and one of the businessmen of the year by Forbes magazine in 2006. Dr. Fung has held key positions in major trade and business associations, being a former chairman of the Hong Kong General Chamber of Commerce, HKGCC, the Hong Kong Exporters Association, HKEA, and the Hong Kong Committee for the Pacific Economic Cooperation Council, PECC. He was a Hong Kong Special Administrative Region Delegate to the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference from 1998 to 2003. Dr. Fung was awarded the Silver Bohemia Star by the Hong Kong SAR government in 2008 for his service to the community. Born in Hong Kong in 1949, Dr. Fung graduated from Princeton University with a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering. He holds a Master of Business Administration, MBA, degree from the Harvard Graduate School of Business and degrees of Doctor of Business Administration, honoris causa, from the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, and Hong Kong Baptist University. A staunch believer in the power of education, Dr. Fung co-founded the Victor and William Fung Foundation in 1998 to support research and scholarships in universities. Considered one of Princeton University's most influential alumni, Dr. Fung has served on the Board of Trustees of his alma mater since 2017. He has remained a strong supporter of the university. In 2012, he endowed the Princeton Fung Global Forum, which promotes discourses on major global issues, and the Fung Global Fellows Program, which annually supports 6 early career faculty members from major universities around the world to research, write, and collaborate around a common theme in residence at Princeton for one whole academic year. The 6 fellows return to Princeton the following year for a workshop with other experts in the related field. They are expected to continue collaboration in furthering research and scholarship. As alumni of Harvard University, the Fung brothers have endowed the Fung Scholars and Fung Fellows in Harvard since 2006. They established and enlarged Harvard's H.C. Fung Library, named after the father, Fung Hon Chu, enhanced faculty research at the university's Asia Center, and offered scholarship support for students from China, including Hong Kong, who are pursuing master's degrees at Harvard, together with support to undergraduates for activities in promoting better understanding of Greater China. In celebrating the centenary of the Fung Group in 2006, the Fung brothers established the Fung Scholars Program, supporting undergraduate students to experience different cultures and environments through exchange in a foreign country. By 2018, the program covers 31 universities and has supported more than 5,400 students. In 2010, the Fung brothers established the Fung Global Institute, a non-profit and independent think tank in Hong Kong. Transformed into the Asia Global Institute under the University of Hong Kong in 2015, Dr. Fung remains a member of its advisory board. The mission of the Institute remains that of informing global policy and actions towards a prosperous and sustainable future for all, through providing a platform for research and knowledge sharing and financially supporting an annual cohort of fellows from around the world. Dr. Fung has supported the Fung Service Leadership Initiative in the 8 publicly funded universities in Hong Kong. Dr. Fung has also started supporting Wawasan Open University by giving advice to his experienced staff on WOU's curriculum for logistics and supply chain management, and by making available scholarships for WOU students. Dr. Fung and his wife, Sylvia, live in Hong Kong with their son and 2 grandchildren. They believe in living life to the fullest. Both enjoy frequent trips to different parts of the world, often combining business with pleasure, while William still runs marathons. And I was told that he was going to run the... No, sorry, that was another person. I thought you were going to run the marathon tomorrow on Penang's Bridge. You could. Tan Sri Pro-Chancellor, Wawasan Open University is privileged to confer the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, on William Fung Kwok Lun, a distinguished global entrepreneur and staunch promoter of education and intellectual engagement worldwide.
He's first, okay. By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, to William Fung Kwok Lun.
Tan Sri Sung Siu Hung.
This is the story of a 93-year-old man. Not the one who currently runs the government, but another gentleman who is well known in the small and medium industries in this region, Tan Sri Dato Sung Siu Hung. Humble and frugal, with a simple lifestyle and simple tastes, he is more at ease mixing with ordinary folks than mingling with the rich and powerful, preferring to maintain a low profile. It is no surprise then that this honest nonagenarian is still living in the same house in Petaling Jaya, which he bought way back in 1954. He got married to Puan Sri Chan Sui Tin, a retired teacher, in 1951, and they are blessed with 6 children. He was born in Kuala Lumpur in 1925, which makes him our oldest honorary graduate to date. He studied at Methodist Boys' School, Kuala Lumpur, where his education was interrupted by the Japanese occupation of Malaya from 1942 to 1945. He finally completed his senior Cambridge in 1946 at the age of 21. He rejected an offer to study at Perth University so that he could attend to his father, who was in need of surgery. He stayed on to help in his father's iron foundry and thereafter started managing the establishment when he was only 28. Tan Sri Sung is someone who embraces life to the fullest, works hard, and gives back to society as long as he is able. As such, he continues to involve himself in social, business, government, political, and philanthropic work. He still has dreams, and one of them is to promote a cleaner, healthier, greener environment. He has over 60 years of experience in managing companies involved in the iron and steel industries. He ventured into manufacturing rubber processing machinery in 1973 by establishing Kwan Cheong Engineering Sdn Bhd, which ceased operation in 2002. He sits on the board of several private and public listed companies. He has been a director in Leader Steel Holdings Berhad since July 1994. The company operates from Malaysia, China, and Hong Kong. Since March 2005, he has been a director of Ion Metal Group Berhad. He holds the chairman positions in a few local companies with interest in steel manufacturing, engineering, and renewable energy since the 1950s to the 1970s. They are Yik Cheong Engineering Sdn Bhd, Wong Yuan Machinery and Hardware Sdn Bhd, Kejurutran Wang Yuan Sdn Bhd, and Yuan Sang Sdn Bhd. He is zealous in championing the cause of small and medium-sized industries, SMIs. through his participation in organizations like the Selangor Foundry and Engineering Industries Association, Federation of Malaysian Manufacturers, FMM, Kuala Lumpur and Selangor Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry, Malaysian Iron and Steel Industry Association, and government agencies like MIDA, SMIDAC, SIRIM, Human Resource Development Council, and Malaysian Productivity Council. As an avid promoter of SMIs, he is well known among the business circles in Malaysia, Myanmar, Cambodia, and Uzbekistan. Like a proud father, he wants many local SMEs to make it big in the international front with their niche products and by admitting new technologies. He encourages companies to innovate to become globally competitive. Tan Sri Sung is a National Council member of the Associated Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry of Malaysia, ACCIM, since the 1970s. The Secretary General of ACCIM from 1991 to 2009 and is Executive Advisor since 2009. He was Chairman of its International Trade and Industry Working Committee from 1998 to 2017. He is also a council member of FMM since 1977 and chairman of the FMM SMI Committee since 1980, as well as council member of the Kuala Lumpur and Selangor Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry, KLS-CCCI, since the 1970s. He was deputy president of KLS-CCCI for 6 years until 2004. He has been an executive committee member of the Malaysian South-South Association, MASA, which was founded by Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad since 1993 to promote trade and investment with developing South-South countries. As for his association with government, he serves on a few bodies, including the focus groups on SME marketing and SME innovation under the Third Industrial Plan, IMP3, since 2006, and Standards Malaysia since 2008. He sat in the National Economic Action Council, NEAC, under the then Premier Tun Mahathir Mohamad to deal with the 1998 financial crisis. Having born in the same year, Tan Sri Sung has worked with the current Prime Minister in 2 major occasions, in 1993 in MASA and 1998 in NEAC. He's only 5 months younger than the Premier and just as sharp and energetic. His past corporate leadership affiliations are numerous. He was board member of the Asian Iron and Steel Industries Federation from 1980 to 2002 and elected its chairman from 1990 to 1992 and 2000 to 2002. President of the Southeast Asia Iron and Steel Institute from 1980 to 2002 and president of the Malaysian Iron and Steel Industry Federation from 1984 to 2008. He is the founder-president of the Federation of Malaysia Foundry and Industry Association and the Selangor Foundry and Engineering Industries Association from 1983 to 2003, and advisor of both associations since 2003. He was also director of Telecom Malaysia Berhad for 8 years and director of Unico Desa Plantation Berhad and Unico Holdings Berhad for 15 years. He feels strongly about vocational training. Through the ACCIM, he set up a trust to offer scholarship for technical vocational education and training, TVET, and also donated a substantial sum for training to the KLS-CCI, SME and HRD committee. He also gave generously to the new SFEA Technical and Vocational Scholarship Fund in 2016 to produce qualified skills technicians for industry, and to PGRM Central Bureau for SME Development to establish a TVET Scholarship Fund in 2017. He is a long-standing member of Parti Gerakan Rakyat Malaysia, PGRM, having joined the party in 1974. He was a chairman at branch, division, and state levels from 1974 to 1998, National Treasurer General from 1988 to 1998. He served as chairman of the PGRM Central SME Development Bureau from 1978 to 2013 and has been the Bureau's executive advisor from 2013. He was elected the State Assemblyman for Petaling Jaya for 2 terms from 1978 to 1986 and appointed senator from 1992 to 1995. For his services to society, industry, and nation, he received the Federal Award of Panglima Setia Mahkota PSM, which carries the title Tan Sri in 1998, and the Dato Paduka Mahkota Selangor DPMS Award, which carries the title Dato in 1990. He was also conferred the Federal Awards of Ksatria Mangku Negara KMN and Johan Setia Mahkota JSM, as well as the Setia Mahkota Selangor SMS State Awards. He exudes a calm, cool demeanor in the face of crisis, which triggers others to take his cue. He has his own trademark list of 24 universal values and good work ethics taken from Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, and Confucianism, which he is overexcited to share. The values are awareness, compassion, continuous improvement, courage, courtesy, creativity, encouragement, enthusiasm, trust, wisdom, self-discipline, tolerance, respect, righteousness, punctuality, recognition, perseverance, principles, passion, patience, integrity, leadership by good example, harmony, and honesty. He is warmly regarded as a friend indeed, hence making him a friend indeed. He takes effort to connect with people, turning many a business contact into friends. He values relationships and likes to motivate people. Another trait associated with Tan Sri Sung is that he is a man of action and stands no nonsense. He detests the talk-only, no-action toner and members-in-name-only mindset. He is well known for his self-discipline. Though English-educated, he became proficient in Mandarin in his 40s in order to improve his business networking and communication skills, and quit smoking in 1973 after 30 years of smoking to set an example for others. All these traits align well with his motto of leadership by good example. Thus, his words match his action, a rare breed indeed in this day and age. He projects a positive attitude and detests those infected with the 3C syndrome: complain, criticize, and condemn. In his own words, these 3 C's may serve the temporary purpose of ventilating one's frustration, but if no practical and positive remedial action is taken, any problem encountered will not go away. It may just get worse. Tan Sri Sung now advocates the 3 P's: positive, practical, and remedial plan. Tan Sri Sung has definitely scaled great heights in his life, holding coveted positions and meeting leading, powerful figures, and yet he remains unpretentious, always embracing the very values he so emphatically declares. Tan Sri Pro-Chancellor, on behalf of Wawasan Open University, it is my great privilege to present Tan Sri Dato Song Siu Hong for the award of Doctor of Business honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer the degree of Doctor of Business honoris causa to Song Siu Hong.
Pro-Chancellor Tan Sri Dr. Kaur Sukun, Acting Vice-Chancellor Professor Dr. Sorini Wati Abbas, Deputy Vice-Chancellor Professor Dr. David Moore, members of the distinguished faculty of Wawasan, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and the graduates for today. I'm indeed deeply honored to be confirmed as an honorary degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa. This is my first honorary degree outside of my home country, and I am so happy that it is from the Wawasan Open University of Penang. There are at least two factors that make this award particularly significant for me. The first is that it is from an institution whose vision, by the way, I understand Wawasan means vision in Malay, to provide a continuing education, and specifically through distance learning. I'm a strong believer in lifelong learning and an ardent advocate of harnessing modern technology to deliver education to students wherever they are and whenever they can make time in their busy lives to learn. The second factor is that Wawasan Open University is based in Penang, an open island economy very much like my home of Hong Kong, and one of my favorite cities in the whole world, and where I have many good lifelong friends. We are both small but thriving island economies that benefits from and indeed depend on an open, fair, global trading environment. And it is on this second point that I like to elaborate and share my views. The world has benefited tremendously in the post-World War II decades from globalization. That point cannot be argued. This generally benign situation is now seriously under threat. The looming confrontation between the world's two biggest economies, namely the United States of America and China, may well result in a far-reaching transformation of the global economy that will reduce economic growth and fundamentally disrupt relationships between countries to the detriment of the world at large. The dispute between the United States and China is ostensibly over trade or fair trade and the protection of intellectual property. Is it that simple? Or is it far more than that? The fact that bilateral trade balances does not make economic sense in our highly integrated world has not stopped its use as the excuse for initiating what is now called the US-China trade war. To put it more simply, if the US really wants to balance trade, they can simply sell China a couple of squadrons of F-16s, and that would balance trade immediately. So all the trade rules and regulations that can address unfair trade practices existing already in the WTO was not used by either party, in the sense frustrating our existing multilateral systems. So it is not really trade issues, I feel, then perhaps it's economic well-being and the benefits of the economy. Given that China's rise in exports is adding the labor component to the manufacturing processes around the world, the China value added on its 500 billion of exports to the United States is at most 25% or 125 billion equivalent. The economic impact of losing this trade is probably no larger than the US if, in a trade war, if the US loses its $150 billion of exports to China, which is primarily in agricultural products like cotton and soybeans, which is 100% value added to the US economy. Hence, both countries will be losers in about the same quantum in a trade war, and not, as President Trump would say, that trade wars are easy to win because they ship so much more to us than we ship to them. So if it's not trade and it's not economic benefits, is it about the economics of the future? Future economic competition, perhaps, is what the US has focused on when they targeted China's Made in China 2025 programs and the products of their industries of the future. In this first round of punitive tariffs, these are specifically the products that were targeted. So perhaps the fight is over who will lead the world in these industries of the future, like AI, like 5G technology, and so on. But these industries are targets for development for all the developing countries, all the developed countries, like Japan, Korea. China's own program is modeled after Germany's Industry 5.0. And in fact, the US itself has its National Strategic Plan for Advanced Manufacturing, which was promulgated in 2012, all targeted at the same industries. So does the conflict go even further? President Trump invoked something called Section 301 legislation to exercise his executive power to impose punitive duties without the need to consult Congress and bypassing WTO rules. Section 301 talks about national security. So now the dispute is lifted to the national security level. This makes it much, much more difficult to resolve. And the conflict may go even further beyond national security to a conflict of fundamental ideology. The question is whether the Western model of free markets backed by liberal democratic political systems is superior to more controlled markets with more government intervention and participation, with a political system that is more authoritarian. This is a huge debate and will not and cannot be settled anytime soon. And for that reason, I feel that the dispute could not be easily resolved by the dinner a week from today in Buenos Aires between President Xi and President Trump. Unfortunately, I am not that wise that I can offer a solution. But I will leave you with these thoughts. Peace and prosperity for all can only be maintained if, one, the superpowers of the world recognize that we are entering a multipolar world where there are several, not one, great power, including blocs like ASEAN would be counted as a power, or the EU. And they would compete in some areas and cooperate in others for the good of the world, for example, like in climate and environmental control. Two, that the existing multilateral organizations of the Bretton Woods era were to be completely revamped so that they are fit for purpose for the new world. Admittedly, these institutions like the World Bank, the IMF, and even the WTO were done in a world that is very different from today, that is buffeted by technological change and the changing geopolitics. And therefore, they must be and needed to be reformed very quickly in order to be fit for purpose for the new world. Finally, I think that the recognition of the world that we must live in harmony and that we cannot have a world where any one country is considered dominant is really key. And I think a return to the multilateral system where all countries, especially the smaller countries, can benefit when the whole world is in harmony is of primary importance. So with that, I offer no solutions, although, like many of you here, graduating from the business school, I was always taught that you don't present problems without also presenting a solution. Unfortunately, I do not have a solution at this moment. But I will leave you with a thought that many good minds in the world are working towards a solution, and that we are praying that the two great powers of the world, will not bring us into a collision course. And as Lee Hsien Loong of Singapore said, and that especially people like ourselves, whether it's in Malaysia, or in other smaller countries around the world, will have to pick sides. That is really not a desirable outcome of this conflict. Thank you so much.
Honorable Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates for the award of the full-time Bachelor of Business with Honours in Accounting as listed in the Convocation Program booklet.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit every candidate to the full-time Bachelor of Business with Honours in Accounting as listed in the Convocation Program booklet.
Tan Yuan Si, Annabelle. Law Su Hua with distinction. Li Zilin. Melissa Wan with distinction. Muhammad Ikhwan Zahirul Baharin. Ng Sin Pei with distinction. Su Jingting. Tan Zihong. Honorable Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates for the award of the full-time Bachelor of Business with Honours in Banking and Finance as listed in the Convocation Program booklet.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit every candidate to the full-time Bachelor of Business with Honours in Banking and Finance as listed in the Convocation Program booklet.
Cheong Wan Teng. Ivan Tan Jun Wei. Teo Keng Sun, Lim Lee Peng, Lo Yen Lee, Yap Man Kit, Honorable Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates for the award of the full-time Bachelor of Business with Honours in Logistics and Supply Chain Management as listed in the Convocation Program booklet.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit every candidate to the full-time Bachelor of Business with Honours in Logistics and Supply Chain Management as listed in the Convocation Program booklet.
Jia Wei Sheng, Zhong Jiajie, Edwin Un Eugene, Go Wei Kian, Huang Shouwen with distinction, Lim Wei Qian, Mandy Lo Yo, Nisa Mekal, Peng Wu Chen with distinction, Pramila S. Kumaran, Ravinraj Balu, Wong Fen Fen, Yap Gim Ham, Honorable Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates for the award of the full-time Bachelor of Business with Honours in Management as listed in the Convocation Program booklet.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit every candidate to the full-time Bachelor of Business with Honours in Management as listed in the Convocation Program booklet.
Annie Ko Kai Ching, Chiu Lei Yen, Cheng Yi Chin, Deva Prabha Nair Ramesh Nair, Edmund Varro Allen. Go Kai Ying. Go Kelvin. Heng Ying Shan with distinction. Ivy Mak Chung Wei with distinction. Ho Sin Ling. Lau Shu Wen with distinction. Ng Chi Cheong. Noor Azmina Abdul Razak. Ong Ze Hao. Hui Yong Lin. Priya Muniandi. So Sin Yu. Sharon Lim Hui Teng. Sim Cindy. Tan Chin Chong. Tan Yi Wen with distinction. Tan Jia Lin. Tan Zi Yu. Tan Yi Xuan. Teo Yu Man with distinction. Tung Yan Yu. Wu Wei Juan. Yap Pei Fan with distinction. Honorable Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates for the award of the full-time Bachelor of Business with Honours in Sales and Marketing as listed in the Convocation Program booklet.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit every candidate to the full-time Bachelor of Business with Honours in Sales and Marketing as listed in the Convocation Program booklet.
Chiu Kai Hang. Fu Chi Min.
Honorable Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates for the award of the full-time Bachelor of Technology with Honours in Computer System and Networks as listed in the Convocation Programme booklet.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit every candidate to the full-time Bachelor of Technology with Honours in Computer Systems and Networks as listed in the Convocation Programme booklet.
Tan Keng Lin, with distinction. Teo Shin Mei. Yuven Yo Yu Mu.
Honorable Pro-Chancellor, I present candidates for the award of the part-time Bachelor of Business with Honours in Accounting as listed in the Convocation Programme booklet.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit every candidate to the part-time Bachelor of Business with Honours in Accounting as listed in the Convocation Programme booklet.
Agnes Zhang Yu Hua. Ang Sui Jian. Belinda Yu Yengju. Bernard Tan Kiat Hao. Carolyn Lim Sui Ping. Catherine Sim Siu Leng. Chai Pei Ling. Chai Siu Lian, with distinction. Chai Wing Shen. Zhan Fan Jie. Zhan Lok Shen. Zhang Yanping. Chi Aileen. Chi Zheng Hong. Chi Lei Chin. Chin Choi Yen. Zhong Hui Yin. Chong Si Leng, Chong So Yen, Chung Suk Yang, Chung Goi Fan, Chung Pek Ngan, Claudia Lai Ying Ying with distinction, Elaine Go Le Peng, Jolene Lee Su Fen, Kamalakannan Balasubramaniam, Khaw Chai Yen, Khaw Ling Ling, Kong Chet Chen, careful, Lee Yi Shin, Lee Xiao Lai, Elias Loveling, Lee Yin Teng, Lim Siu Si, Lim Swet Shen, Lim Cheng Yin, Lui Quai Ying, Lo Yen Yen, Ma Ka Mei, Ma Yun Pei, Nantakumar Harikrishnan with distinction, Ng Hui Man, Ng Sok Kun, Ong Le Hun, Ui Chun Seong, Pi Si Hui, Rajesh Gopal, Rekha Dharmarajan, Revati Asogan, Shalini Sankaralingam, Sharon Tai Che Yao. Su Hui Cheng with distinction. Srinivasan V. Ponnusamy. Tan Po Kim. Tang Jia Wei. Teh Sui Sian. Teo Li Wa. Tien Sin Yok. Tilageswari Kalimutu. Tinakaran Gopinath. Pi Le Kim. Wong Chu Leng. Wong Yip Yen Fan. Wong Yok Chin.